December 7th, 1941, dawn breaks over Oahu. The harbor sleeps. Battleships lie like sleeping giants. Men polish brass. Birds break the morning air. Then the sky erupts. Now imagine something impossible. Imagine the roar of a jet. Not the piston prop shriek of 1940s fighters, but a howl of afterburners. A shape that the men on the ground have no word for. A ghost in the sky. Silent until it is not. A hunter from the future, watching a day that would change the world. What if the F-22 Raptor fought at Pearl Harbor? We will place a modern F-22 squadron on Ford Island, fully armed, fully fueled, and ready at 0730 on that December morning. No miracles of logistics beyond that, no changes to Japanese planning. Just one variable, America's stealth air superiority fighter arrives 64 years early. We ask not for fantasy, we ask for cause and effect. We will follow sensors, we will follow pilots, we will count bullets, missiles, and decisions. We will watch how one technology bends the arcs of history. The F-22 is not just a faster plane, it is a different kind of war machine. Stealth. Its shape and materials make it difficult to see on radar. In 1941, radar was crude. Long-range sets existed. They detected bombers on rare occasions. Against an F-22, they are blind. Speed. It can sprint above Mach 1 without afterburners. It can climb to altitudes that piston engines only dream of. It can appear over a target before adversaries know it was there. Sensors. The Raptor carries an advanced ASA radar, long-range infrared search and track, and sensor fusion that gives the pilot a single picture of the battle space. In a single cockpit, the pilot sees air and surface tracks from miles away with clarity. Weapons, beyond visual range missiles, short-range heat-seeking missiles, a rapid-fire cannon, precision-guided bombs, from high altitude, from stealth. Engagements begin and end beyond the enemy's ability to respond. Network. The Raptor communicates, shares targeting data, and coordinates in ways 1941 forces could not imagine. It is a sentinel, a hunter, and a judge, all in one. Now put that against Pearl Harbor as it was. The Japanese strike force approached low and fast. Their purpose, surprise, torpedo planes, dive bombers, fighters. They exploited geography. Battleships were moored side by side in shallow anchorages. Airfields were unprepared. Radar operators saw blips that morning. The warning chain failed. P-36s and P-40s scrambled too late. Air combat of 1941 was intimate. Dogfights at visual range. Pilots fought by sight and skill. Weapons were machine guns and unguided bombs. The Zero excelled at maneuverability. The Americans struggled with outdated tactics and the surprise attack. Against that backdrop, the F-22 is not another fighter. It is a force multiplier of a different order. It negates surprise. It extends sight. It reaches and kills from beyond the range of first-wave weapons. It rewrites the tactical environment. At 0700, Japanese aircraft cross the horizon. A radar operator notes contacts. Historically, that blip was dismissed. In our scenario, the Raptor's radar and IR sensors pick up multiple inbound targets at long range. The pilot receives fused tracks, dozens of slow-moving piston aircraft converging from the northwest. Decision is instant. Scramble. In minutes, Raptors are airborne. They climb above 20,000 feet. From altitude, they can see the approach long before the Japanese pilots expect to be seen. F-22 crews identify formation size, heading, altitude, and time to target.
The first Japanese formation is met not with fury at the hangar, but with guided lethality. AEM-class missiles are launched from outside visual range. Targets fall without warning. Torpedo planes, critical to the Japanese plan, are cut down before they can dive to launch torpedoes. One by one, the long-range missiles track and destroy. With their torpedo wings decimated, the attack loses its keystone. Dive bombers approach without protection. The attackers are forced to either jettison the attack or press home into a storm of missiles and guns. The dynamic flips. The hunter becomes the hunted. Some attackers press through. Short-range missiles and cannon fire finish those that close. The Raptor, able to carry precision ordnance, can engage moored vessels and key installations from altitude. If allowed in the scenario, precision-guided bombs can be delivered on Japanese ships attempting to withdraw, and on the carriers themselves if within range. Instead of 8 battleships hit and 4 sunk, the harbor may receive light or no damage. Planes that historically were destroyed in hangars survive. The American carrier force, already absent at sea, remains untouched either way, but in this scenario, the Japanese lose aircraft and pilots at much higher rates. Operationally, Japan's strike force is bloodied and must withdraw sooner, if not retreat entirely. Tactically, the US loses few ships and few aircraft. Psychologically, the shock of an attack that failed is different from the outrage of a successful surprise strike. Japan's risk calculus changes. The immediate effect is survival of material and lives. The longer-term effect is uncertainty. American public opinion, political momentum, and mobilization all respond to a different story. We must be clear-eyed. An F-22 cannot alter everything. It cannot conjure logistics. Fuel, spare parts, maintenance crews are necessary. Its missiles operate in ways they were designed for against modern electronics and guidance. Navigation, communications, and in-flight refueling must be provided. Human reaction still matters. Command confusion and identification problems could lead to tragic friendly fire incidents unless disciplined command is in place. Moreover, the Japanese carriers that launched the attack were not at Pearl Harbor. If Raptors pursued them, they would face long legs of range and fuel constraints. Carriers operate at speed and distance. A few Raptors can change the outcome of a single strike. They cannot alone rewrite the entire Pacific campaign without broader institutional support. What happens if an F-22 squadron arrives on that morning? It becomes a pivot point. Surprise evaporates. Formations shatter in the sky. Battleships stand tall, their decks alive with crews who fight back instead of flee. Lives are spared. The attack, meant to cripple a fleet, crumbles into chaos. Yet history is more than machines. It is forged in factories and strategies, in the resolve of nations. A squadron can turn a battle. It can save ships and men. But the war's vast machinery, the industrial surge, the atomic dawn, the global alliances, presses onward. One thread pulled reshapes the weave. Some patterns endure. Others unravel. Imagine the sailors below staring upward. Missiles streak without origin. A future they cannot comprehend alters their fate. The Pacific War accelerates or perhaps delays. Momentum shifts, but the greater conflict endures. If a single squadron can bend the course of one morning, what would happen if entire fleets of modern aircraft reached 1941? Or if modern intelligence and logistics followed them? Next time, what if radar had been perfected and networked in 1941? How would that change the Pacific War?